Afternoon, Andrew. You would know this better than I. Forget how many different line mates you mentioned last year that you played with over the course of the season. I feel like it was well into the teens. You've had what, 6 different line mates at points already in 3 games here. Is this just par for the course for you and something that you're used to at this point, moving all around?
Yeah, I think. We got a big taste of this last year when the line combinations seem to be different every game. So nothing that I'm overly uncomfortable with. I think I'm comfortable in that situation of kind of moving up and down and kind of going where I'm needed in special teams, power play, PK. So and then getting some 3-on-3 action last night too. So yeah, comfortable kind of being used in all sorts of different fashions, especially we haven't seen go to center yet, but I'm sure that'll happen at some point just with how this year's going to go.
Next question to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Andrew. Critique your team's play so far. What's clicking just right and what most needs to improve?
I think the penalty kill needs to improve for sure. We got to find a way to keep the puck out of our net. Feel like we've handled adversity pretty well, which is kind of going off of last year, something that we handled, throughout the year with, the ups and downs. And obviously we're only 3 games in, but we've been able to handle being down in games and clawing our way back. So that's a positive. And then there's just some things that when we do them in the game, we're successful, and when we don't, we're not successful. I think just supporting the puck and being very connected on the ice is probably the biggest thing, and just kind of having the right mindset of battling on pucks. And you saw when we got away from that in Toronto, when we were stretching and not supporting the puck and not having the right mentality of stopping on pucks and battling pucks out, that our game doesn't look very good. So I think we've learned hopefully what makes us successful, and we need to find a way to continue to do that and improve upon that as the season goes on.
Go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Andrew, a comment, if you will, on a couple of teammates. Josh Morrissey last night in the first period, I mean, I think he'd be the first one to admit it wasn't his best, and yet he stays in there and is front and center in the comeback. And also Kyle Connor, it really looked like he started to find his mojo after being reunited with Mark and Blake.
Yeah, I think Josh has been pretty solid for us so far this year. I think you can see another step in his game from last season, and he's a guy that we're going to need to play those big minutes and play very well for us. And kind of like the rest of the team, I don't know if anyone was overly thrilled with our starts the last 2 nights, but to have him be a huge part of leading the comeback is important for us as a team, and then his confidence is just going to continue to grow. And then KC just puts the puck in the net. I think he could be playing with anybody out there, and he'd find a way to put the puck in the net. But you definitely saw that line when they got reunited. Definitely had an extra step. Played fast, and not just with their speed, but with the anticipation and knowing where guys are going to be. So he's a fantastic hockey player, and he brings a lot to our lineup, whether he's with Stas and French or if he's up with Scheif and Wheels. I think he's just such a dynamic player that anytime he gets the puck on his stick, we got a lot of confidence that the right play is going to be made. He's going to put the puck in the net.
Next to Paul Edmonds from Jets Radio. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Andrew. Thanks a lot for taking the time. You've been pretty candid about telling us how you've worked on your offensive game in the offseason, amongst other things, in your skill set the last couple of years. A point last night, you're on for 2 goals, 4. Are you starting to see the tangible rewards, even though it's early in the season, to that extra work offensively that you've done the last couple of off seasons now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously it was a good pass to Nicky on the goal. I think, still finding that rhythm and that groove, though. 3 games in, still trying to find, just that rhythm. And I think, you get that first one out of the way, and you kind of have a snowball effect. So hopefully we can kind of continue on and start finishing on those chances and continue to create for whatever line mates I have.
And final question, we'll go back to Mike McIntyre from the Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Andrew, you talked about being connected on the ice. Just wondering how you guys are staying connected off the ice on a road trip like this. No doubt very similar to being in the bubble in Edmonton, albeit this time you're actually moving from city to city. What are you watching on Netflix? How have you guys kind of found ways to maybe stay connected, even if you can't do some of the things you normally would do on a road trip?
Yeah, I think, there's been some good setups for us so far, just in terms of like some, lounge areas just for us to, last night we were watching the Colorado game after we had dinner, and, we're all kind of talking, but we're all kind of shouting across the room towards each other if, you're not in the close conversation with the people that are somewhat close to you, I guess. So it's definitely a lot different. But, at the rink, you're still able to joke around on the ice, and when you're warming up and rolling out, guys are still close enough where you can have conversation and all that. So, definitely making sure that we, stay within the protocols and don't put anyone at risk, I guess to say. But, definitely just trying to continue those relationships. And it is just truly us on the road. It feels like there's nobody in these hotels besides us. No one in the stands. Like it truly is just us out there. So the strengthening of those bonds can come, especially with some early wins and some momentum wins, kind of like last night with the comeback. I think everyone's feeling pretty good today, and that's just going to help our team bond, and it's going to be important down the stretch.